Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Mr. Fitness, the body transformation specialist. And on today's episode of Weight Loss Warriors, we're going to be speaking with Emiguel. Now, Emiguel has an absolutely awesome weight loss story. And today he's going to talk about everything. He's going to talk about where he's been, where he's at right now, and where he's looking to go. So if you've never been here before, on Weight Loss Warriors, our goal is to inspire, to motivate, and to encourage you that you too can do it. You see, there's nothing special about Emiguel. It's just that he took action. He saw he needed to do something about his weight, and he did it. And you can do it as well. So today, he's going to talk about everything. He's going to talk about where he's been, where he's at, where he's looking to go, and everything in between. But before we get to that, if you've missed any of the past episodes of Weight Loss Warriors, you can go on and head on over to youtube.com/fitnessmotivation, the number 4, the letter U, the number 2. Again, that's fitnessmotivation4u2. There you'll be able to see every past episode of Weight Loss Warriors, plus some other really good content. And while you're there, consider subscribing so that you never miss any of the other episodes. Also, if you've got a weight loss story that you'd like to share and you'd like to do it here on a future episode of Weight Loss Warriors, I want you to DM me if you're watching this live. But if you're watching on the rebroadcast on YouTube, then there'll be a link down below in the description where you can go ahead and reach out to me and let's talk about getting you on a future episode. Last but not least, before we get to this awesome interview, if you're starting a workout program and you don't quite know what to do, or you're involved already in a weight loss program, but you're kind of lost and maybe you've hit a plateau, I'd love to be your coach. So we're not going to get too much into that, but if you're looking for help, DM me. If you're watching this on the rebroadcast, down below in the description, there'll be a link where you can get 30 days free to my online fitness and nutritional coaching program. And with that out of the way, let's see if we can get Emiguel on the show so he can talk about his weight loss. We're getting on here in just a few minutes. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. There he is. What's going on, sir? How you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How's everything in Florida today?
It's rainy.
It's raining there, and it's still raining here.
Well, we have it here.
Yeah, we dodged the rain for the majority of the day, so we're looking pretty good. But, you know, today we want to hear your story. We want to hear you talk about where you've been, where you're at right now, and where you're looking to go. So we're going to get into it. We're not going to leave anything out. So my first question for you is, what was your highest weight?
Recorded. Like, I got on a scale. It was 582.
So your highest weight was 582. And where are you at right now?
390. Last time I weighed myself.
Okay. So you're at 582 was your highest. You're at 390 right now. Where are you looking to go? What's your ultimate weight loss goal?
I about 100 more pounds.
So you're looking to lose about 100 more pounds.
Yeah.
And so you've been on a pretty long journey up to this point. You've been through a lot. You've had some ups. You've had some downs. So I know when we were talking, you said that by the age of 38, you were told that you wouldn't live to see the age of 40.
40, yeah.
Talk to us about that. How did that, hearing somebody tell you that, how did that feel?
See, the problem is that I suffer from severe sleep apnea.
Okay.
That means that I stop breathing a lot of times while I go to sleep.
Okay.
And because of that and the weight, it was making it really difficult for my body to keep breathing while I was sleeping and stuff like that. And the doctor told me that if I didn't lose weight, either I wouldn't make it to 40 or they had to do track. I don't know how to say it in English. When they make you breathe through your neck.
Okay.
Right,
so they were going to give you like a breathing tube or something.
Yeah, because it was that severe.
Okay. So what were your options at that point?
I said if I had the tube put on, I was going to die because I wasn't going to be able to deal with it mentally.
Okay.
So my friend and his wife, they've been talking about surgery for a long time. So that's when we got serious about it.
Okay. Okay. So you also said, so you started losing weight back in 2011. You started working out, you started going to the boxing gym, and you went from 549 pounds to 420 pounds. Was that the beginning of your weight loss journey?
That was just us playing around because he wanted me to lose weight because he's been my friend for like 20 years. So he decided that he was going to help me out, and he paid for the gym and everything so I could start losing weight and see if I get motivated on losing weight. I did for a little while, for like a whole year, something like that.
So you sound like you had a pretty strong support system.
I have a pretty strong. I have.
So how important would you say that is, or that has been to your success? And what advice would you give someone that might not have that support system around them?
For me, it was extremely important because I'm a person that I didn't believe in myself. You know, I used to start doing something, and 3 steps in, I stopped doing it. And them pushing me and having somebody there to hold me accountable for the stuff that I'm doing helped me a lot. It's a really big part of what I'm doing.
So what advice would you give to someone that might not have as strong of a support system as you had?
Once you start your journey, they're going to come up. There's people in my life right now that weren't there when I started, but they have become part of that support system. And they are going to come on. All you got to do is start. Is just do the first step. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. You're not going to like it because you're not going to like it. And they're going to come. They're going to come into your life. It's just that you got to get one of the persons that is my support system is one of the trainers that somebody else paid, like they sponsored for me to go to him because he was a personal trainer, and he's one of the people that helped me get to the point that I needed to get surgery, and now he's helping me to get to the finish line. I mean, I think having a strong support system is important, simply because you know it's very difficult to take these journeys on your own. So surround yourself with positive people, whether it be on social media or support groups. Try to surround yourself with people that have similar goals to yourself, where you guys can work together to motivate each other and encourage each other. I think that's important. And obviously it showed that it has helped you get closer to where you want to be. Yeah. And it taught me a lot of things, like, because everybody that comes in brings a little bit of knowledge or help or motivation, because you also got to get around people that have done this before. Because you don't know where you're going. They don't tell you everything when you're gonna get everything done, or when you start a gym, or you start a surgery, or you start a school, or whatever. You don't know where you're going. So you have to surround yourself with people that's gonna support you no matter what, and people that have done it before. And that's what I did. And that's what I did.
So a lot of the people that might be watching this live or might watch it on the replay are considering joining a gym. Maybe they've never worked out before, or maybe they're looking to get back into it. How was your experience with working out? How do you believe the gym, what role do you think it played in your success?
When you start doing it, it's very important, but you have to, I have a background in sports. I've always been big, but I always played sports, basketball, volleyball, everything. So I knew that I needed the gym. That whatever I was going to do, surgery, diet, or whatever, I knew I needed the gym. So that part, I already had it in my head that was something that I was supposed to do, and I needed to do. But if you've never done it before, you have to go to somewhere where they can teach you how to do it, or motivate you to do it. Like go to his page or where we are right now, and get motivated by other people that are doing this, and you can get the surgery. Or to where you want to go. I'm sorry.
Okay. So you have ups and downs. You know, you had some positives, some negatives, some good, some bad, as everybody does. But you had also said that you maintained the weight loss for about 6 to 7 months. And you said you had a lot on your plate, and you did say that you suffered from depression and anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
So you said your food was your outlet, and you said within a year and a half, you were back up to 582 pounds.
Yes.
So go ahead.
It's just I didn't eat all the time. I just didn't eat for a day or two, and then I ate too much, and then I stopped, and then I ate too much. That doesn't help either when you don't eat. So by me doing the yo-yo diet or feeding myself as a yo-yo, eating and not eating, eating and not eating, I gained the weight. And some other time, yes, I ate because I felt lonely, because I wasn't doing things right, and it's difficult. And then you get depressed because you're not doing what you're supposed to do, and then you get anxiety because you know you're supposed to be doing something but you're not doing it, and then it's a snowball effect.
Yeah. And do you find that you're still dealing with those emotions, how you use food to cope with your issues, or have you been able to channel that energy into something else?
Honestly, it all depends on the situation that I'm in, if it's and where I'm at too. If it's something that has been a difficult day or a difficult week or whatever, I may lose track and do something that I'm not supposed to, but I'll pay the price later. That's the only problem. I have a handle in things, but there's still sometimes where, last year I had an episode where I took it too far, and, things happen.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it, but,
Yeah. So I think one of the biggest things that people have to remember is to never beat yourself up for falling off track. Like, no one is perfect. And I think you have to expect the fact that you're human, and it's okay to do bad. I always tell my clients that the focus is to do more good than bad. So the great thing is that you don't have to be perfect to reach your goals, but you do have to stay committed and focused on doing what's necessary to get to where you want to be.
Yeah, you have to be a little bit, yes, you're going to have your piece of cake. Yes, you're going to have your donut, because if you don't, you're going to go crazy. I'm going to be honest with you. If you don't indulge a little bit, you're going to go crazy.
Yeah.
And that's not the goal here, because what good is it for you to be 100, 200 less pounds, but you're miserable?
And that's the thing.
You
want to enjoy the process of getting to where you're trying to be. And like you said, if you're not enjoying it, you're not going to do it for a long period, or you're not going to do it for a long enough period of time to gain the benefit and the results from it. So find something that you enjoy doing. Don't just try to completely eliminate all the foods that you consider to be unhealthy. Slowly but surely over time, decrease them to where you can manage how you feel about those foods and your emotions that come along with that.
And healthy food can be bad too. So don't think because you're eating 75 tomatoes is not bad. I mean, everything in excess is bad.
Exactly. I tell all my clients, you can overeat the good foods and still gain weight.
Yeah.
I think maybe the only food that you probably can't overeat is lettuce. But who's gonna go to the
can't eat it anymore, man. I can't eat it anymore.
No, can't eat no more salads, huh?
No.
I hear you, man. I've been eating so many that I probably need to give it a rest as well. But it's part of the diet, so I eat as many as I can. But so what advice would you give someone that turns to food to deal with their issues?
You will need to go talk to somebody and figure out what the issue is, and try not to get yourself in those situations where they make you or you go take refuge in food. Life is hard. Nobody said it's going to be easy, but you have to have a strong will. Sometimes I don't have that strong will. Sometimes I overeat and I pay the price. But you need help. When food becomes your refuge, you need help.
Yeah.
So I need help. So I get professional help for that.
Yeah. So you would advise someone to seek a professional that can help them to identify what's
making that happen. Why is that happening? It's difficult to accept that you have a problem. I don't want to say it's like a drug addict or anything else, but it's difficult to say I have this problem and I don't know how to fix it. Because it's not the difficult part is not having that problem and recognizing it. It's not knowing how to fix it.
Yeah.
Because if your car broke down and you know how to fix it, you don't have any problems because you can do it. But if your car breaks down and you don't know how to fix it, and you have to spend $3,000 fixing it, then you have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why you need to go get help.
Yeah. And I think an important thing to remember is that you're probably always going to have some issues with food. Like it's never going to be completely fixed. You're going to have your good days and you're going to have your bad days. And that's okay because like we said, you're human. But your goal is to focus on identifying the issues, identifying the underlying issues that you're having with food. And that's why I do agree with you. Seeing a professional that can help you identify those issues is probably the best way to go.
Yeah, that's what I did. And that's what I've been doing for like 3 years now. But I've been doing it all my life, honestly. But I got serious now when I understood what was going on. I understood that I had a problem and I needed help finding the solution.
Yeah.
And everybody said it, you know, my mom, my friends, go talk to somebody. And I didn't want to, but once I got there, I understood why they were telling me to go talk to somebody.
Yeah. And the gastric guru says, you're not alone. We all seek solace in food. And I think that's true. Like we all seek comfort, maybe not even food, but we all seek comfort in something. So maybe it's figuring out what can you replace that food with to seek comfort in something else. Like one of my clients was telling me that she was afraid that one of her friends was becoming obsessed with the gym. And I'm not going to say that there's any obsession that's necessarily positive, but the one thing I said is, you know, if there is one good obsession to have, it's to be obsessed with your health. It's to be obsessed with being healthy and being fit. So I said, you know, kind of let her be. And, you know, if she wants to go to the gym twice a day and she's obsessed about eating good, I said, you know, there's much worse things that she could be obsessed with. It could be drugs. It could be alcohol. She's choosing to be obsessed with the gym. So as long as it's not affecting anything else in your life, you know, then hey, it's okay with me.
I mean, she's gonna end up hurting herself, but
yeah, I mean, she got to be smart. Now, you know, I tell you got to be smart in the gym, but you know, I give her big ups to just, you know, to being committed to getting into better shape. And incredibly, Jen said the struggle is real, and it is so real. But that's why we're here today. We're here to, like I said, to encourage, to motivate, and to inspire you that you too can do it. Like I said, there's nothing special about anybody that comes on this show. The main difference is you took action. You knew you had an issue. You searched for the solution. And you took action, and you're continuously still taking action to get to where you want to be.
I had to be scared to death, but, you know, I did it.
And look, I always say, you know, people sometimes have to get to that point where enough is enough. Like it's time. And, you know, I always try to say, how do we save people from having to get to that point where there's something that's of that magnitude that causes them to take action? What do we need to do to get people to take action before they get to that point where they need to take action?
That's a difficult question. But I had to be scared to death. I had to, and once they told me that, the two persons that were standing next to me while somebody was telling me this were my parents.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that the only thing that came to my mind was when my dad told me that if any of his kids die, he will go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yeah.
So that's where I remember my friend telling me, his name is Gabriel, telling me that I could get surgery, that I was a good candidate, that he used to watch this show and he sees it every Wednesday, and that I should look into it. Mm-hmm. And I never pay attention to what there was a point in my life that I didn't pay attention to anybody said. Anybody, yeah. You can tell me you need you're bleeding, and I wouldn't be like, I don't care, you know. Mm-hmm. And then that's when I started paying attention, and I looked at the show and started talking about it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The first step that I took was talk about it.
Yeah, yeah. And when you say talk about it, you meant you talked about it with other people, asked people opinions.
I asked people opinions. In my house, it was divided. One said yes, one said no. And all my friends says, go ahead, do it. Because, you know, you're going to die regardless. Either you die because you didn't lose weight, or you die because something went wrong. But it's going to happen anyways, if it's meant to happen. So.
Yeah. All right. So then you said you started thinking about the surgery back in 2014. You started talking to doctors. And as you just mentioned, you said your father was a little bit fearful. Do you wish you would have done the surgery sooner?
That's a toss-up, because I was one to think that I could do it by myself, that I couldn't, that I didn't need a surgery. Of course, I proved that because I lost 120 pounds, but it was like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know if my body would have done it in 2 years too. So I don't know. I don't think so. No.
Okay.
No,
so
I did it when I had to.
Yeah, you did it when the time was right for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you said you got sick about 3 to 4 years later. You had water around your lungs. You already said that you had severe sleep apnea. Yeah. And you had hypothyroidism. So then you said the doctor said that surgery was the only way that you would get better.
Yep.
So what was your research process to getting the surgery?
Okay. We went to a I don't know how to say the conference. We went to a conference here in Florida, where they teach you all the types of surgery there is. They teach you all the risk. They teach you what to do. They teach you everything there. And afterward, they decide if they can help you or you can get the surgery, because they're not helping you. They're selling it. They're selling something to you. So we went there. We weren't able to do it there. So I got a little bit disappointed because that was the only place I knew here that they did it. Yeah. So we went there. Then we started. I started researching. You know, where in Florida. How long did it take? I went and added people in online and asked them, you know, what was your experience? The only problem was that everybody was female. And then I started looking for males because I mean, male and female are two different things. It's a different world. Yeah. And I talked to two guys, and they told me to go ahead and do it. One was at the first appointment. The guy had an appointment. He already had done the surgery like 2 months prior to that. And then I went outside before, like 5 minutes before I go into the surgeon's office. And I stopped him and I talked to him, and he told me about the doctor. He told me about the surgery. He told me it was the best thing that he ever done for himself. His back was better. Sorry. And that's why I went inside and decided that I was going to do it. I wasn't, I was 100%, 95% sure that I wanted to do it. And then I went in there, talked to the doctor, and he told me what surgery was he wanted to do. But then as the time went on in the research and stuff, we couldn't do what he wanted to do. We had to do two separate surgeries.
Okay. So a lot of people, obviously, social media is a big thing these days.
Yeah.
And, you know, years ago, when the surgeries were becoming more popular, it wasn't as easy to gain access to the information about the surgeries as it is now. So what role do you believe social media played in you making a decision to do it, if any?
It was a pretty big one because I was able to see the results in some patients. I was able to see what they were going to do to me, like what the procedure was about. I come from a family of doctors, so I already knew certain things, but I didn't know the whole procedure. So I also asked them, you know, we gave them a call and, you know, do you think it's safe? Do you think I should do it? And it's important because you're going to see Facebook was one of the places where I look for a lot of information in groups. I added a couple of people here on Instagram, and then some of them I did try to reach out to see if how it is, how they felt, because they were about the same amount of weight as I am, and built. Like I'm 5'8", they were 5'8", and they were around the same weight. Yeah. So I also I wanted to see what other problems they had after surgery, because I know that they don't tell you this sometimes, but there are complications after you have surgery. So I had to ask all those questions before I decided that I was committed to just, because one thing is you go into the office and having them tell you you're a candidate for surgery, and you got to wait 6 months, but you're not. After that is 6 months is a long time for you to have that in your head, like you really want to do this, you know. So it's and sometimes after surgery I said, you know, I don't know if I did the right thing.
Now, was that because you were having complications?
The adjustment period was a little bit rough, and I had a whole bunch of complications at the beginning. Okay. When usually it takes you like a month and a half to start eating soft food, it took me like 2 months. And after that, I had problems keeping everything down. It was my gallbladder that was acting up. And then after that, the adjustment from you can't eat the way you used to eat, that's also something that, you know, they give you a whole plate. You know, you're not going to eat the whole plate. So, you know, you get frustrated when you don't want to. It's a mind thing. It's your head.
Yeah.
It was for me. It was
so,
for me,
so what would you, well, first let me ask you, how did you choose the doctor that you chose?
It came down to his bedside manner. Okay. Actually, because the other one was like, you know, yeah, he was nice, but this one was like more to what I like on a doctor. You know, I want you to keep it real with me, and I'll tell you everything that I'm doing wrong, and I'll tell you what I'm doing right, and you tell me how it is. Not tell me, don't sugarcoat anything. Don't, like the doctor before. I mean, if you don't do something, you're gonna die. So that type of doctor, and that's why, because they're all professionals. Yeah. I mean, I also checked for, you know, malpractice suits and everything. You know, in the research, you do all that. That's part of that's one big part of your research. You know, that part. So I checked for everything, and the guy had one leak in 20 years. So, you know, that part was good. But once we got into the office, and we started talking, he was the way he was talking to me made me feel comfortable, where I could say, yes, I can have this, because I never in my life in 39 years had surgery until that point. Yeah. Now I had like 6, but you know, what a problem. Yeah. But at that moment, it was my first surgery. I was really scared. When I say scared, is like a day before I didn't want. I almost didn't do it. So I have my mom, a friend of mine, and my dad in my house, and they were like, "You already said that you were gonna do it. You made the decision, so keep it." Yeah. And that's where the ball started rolling, honestly, in the changes that I made after I had surgery.
Yeah. So what do you say to someone that might also be fearful of getting the surgery? Like, they know they need to do it. They know that this is their second chance, third chance, whatever the case may be. What do you say to that person that's afraid, but they know they need it?
This is gonna be something that I know somebody's gonna throw in my face, but you gotta face your fears. You're going to be scared. You're going to be nervous and everything, but you have to go through it. If it's your last resort, if it's the only thing that you can do to lose the weight and save your life, you're gonna have to go through it, even if you're scared or not. If something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. You being 600 pounds or you being 200 pounds, that when that time comes, is because the only thing that you should be scared of is not waking up. And that's gonna happen if you're in surgery, if you're not in surgery, or if you're in your couch eating a potato chip bag, you know?
Yeah.
So when it's your time, it's your time. So you're gonna be scared, because you should be scared, but you know, just face it and go through it.
You don't want to let the fear consume you to the point where you don't take action, to the point where you don't do what you know you should do. Yeah.
Because you know you should do it. You know, it's not like you getting in an elevator. You're saving your life, you know?
So then you said that you had, I think you said you had the sleeve surgery in August of 2017, and then you had the bypass surgery in August of 2018.
2018, a year and a day after.
So why did you need two surgeries, and what's the difference between the two surgeries?
Okay. When I initially went to the office, the doctor's office, he wanted to do what they call a duodenal switch.
Okay.
Which is the two surgeries in one.
Okay.
They cut your stomach and they do a bypass. But since my severe sleep apnea, I couldn't be under anesthesia for a long time. So they had to do two different parts. He said, let's do one, and when you lose 150 pounds, we'll do the other one.
Yeah.
And I was scared to death, but I had to say yes, because if not, I wasn't gonna lose and keep the weight off. The difference is that when you get a sleeve, they cut a part of your stomach, make it a certain size, and that's it. When you get the bypass, they take when the stomach ends and bypass it to halfway your big intestine. So the food goes in and out faster. Yeah. So that's the only difference.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. One is more invasive than the other one, and more aggressive, which that's what they needed with me, because I was almost 600 pounds.
So what else has changed about your life other than your weight now that you've had the surgery?
Attitude. I see things different.
Okay.
I try to, because see, at the beginning of this, like I said before, I didn't believe in myself. I have never followed through on anything that I've ever done. And you can ask my closest friends and they will tell you, sometimes he still does it.
Yeah.
And then once I started, like, because when I decided to have surgery, I didn't know if I was going to be able to lose the weight for me to be able to have surgery. So, which we got to the point of me having surgery, and the surgery was canceled because I was too big still. And the anesthesiologist didn't feel comfortable me going under anesthesia on that weight. So I had to wait for my surgery like a month later. That's why I had it in August. I was supposed to have it in July. And that's when I started second guessing myself. And then I was able to lose the weight because of my friend had it done. My friend Anna had it done on July 3rd.
Okay.
So what I did was I followed her diet.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say I killed two birds with one stone, because I showed myself that I was able to handle the diet after surgery, and I lost the weight.
Okay.
And she helped me a lot. She still helps me a lot too, because she when she got the surgery, she started telling me, don't do this, don't do that, and that helps too.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And I started believing in myself, because I did it again. I lost some weight. I couldn't have the surgery, lost some more weight. I started believing in myself that I could do it. And then I had surgery. And then that's when everything started changing. But it's a slow process. Don't expect it. Don't expect like you have surgery today and tomorrow you lose 40 pounds. Mm-hmm. That's never going to happen. That's never. And everything in life is the same way. Mm-hmm. So it took me 2 years to start believing in myself, doing everything right, and then now I'm starting to see the benefits of the surgery, my attitude changing, and listening. Mm-hmm. I started listening to people, because the decision of me having surgery was because I listened to a couple of people.
Yeah,
and that helped me to get to where I'm at. So that's why I was talking to somebody, and they told me, like, you got to start listening. And I was like, nah, I don't want to listen to anybody. I want to do whatever I want to do, and this and that. I'm like, some people are telling you stuff because they can help you. Mm-hmm. So when I started listening, I started making things happen. Mm-hmm. And that's how surgeries change. That's just one thing or two that changed me and made me everything better for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's really what we hope to bring to everyone, because I'm sure once your confidence went up and your attitude changed and you became more positive, people started treating you differently that might not have known you, because of those positive changes that you had made in yourself.
Yeah.
But what would you say to someone that's frustrated, someone that is discouraged?
Okay, first they have to calm down, because when you get discouraged and you get like that, is because you're upset, because you're not getting either what you want or how you want it. You need to calm down and listen to the people that know what they're saying, and follow. If you have to follow instructions, you have to follow their instructions. If you have to listen for like when somebody tells you you're talented at something, or you can do something, is because they really believe that you can do it. They're not saying it because you're frustrated, because you're not getting results. They're not saying it because of that. They're saying it because they really believe that you can do it. So if you don't have anybody, you have to believe yourself that you can do it. And I know I'm saying a lot, because that's a lot for me, because I didn't believe in myself. I had to figure out how I was going to do stuff, because in my head I was like, you're just going to start doing it and stop. That, and then little by little you're going to get where you want to get, but it's baby steps, and it's one step next after the other, and it's a long road. This is a marathon, not a sprint. For me. And if you're 500 pounds, it's going to be a marathon. No, it's never going to be a sprint.
Yeah.
So you gotta listen, believe in yourself, even if you're frustrated or discouraged. And the scale doesn't determine if it's good or not. I had to learn that one. Because if the scale's not moving, that doesn't mean that I'm not losing weight or not losing fat, or I had to understand that the scale doesn't determine my success.
Yeah,
it's me. If it's not moving, then I have to look for remedies to make it move again.
Yeah. And the scale is only one aspect of the story.
Yeah.
You got to look at the way your clothes fit. You got to look at the way you feel. You got to look at the way you look when you look in the mirror. You know, all those things are probably better indicators than the actual scale, because the scale is just a number. And a lot of people get lost and they get wrapped up in the scale because it's the easiest thing that people understand. So what I always encourage my clients to do is, if you're going to get a scale, buy a scale that measures fat. Buy a scale that measures hydration levels. Buy a scale that measures more metrics than just weight. Because oftentimes you got to remember that a pound is a pound, whether it's a pound of fat or whether it's a pound of muscle.
Water.
Water, whatever the case may be. So when you step on a scale, you can have two people that are the same sex, same height, same weight, same age, but one person has a body fat of 33% and the other one has a body fat of 13%. The reality is they're going to step on the scale and their weight's going to be exactly the same. But when you look at them, they're going to look completely different. Mm-hmm. The person with the lower body fat is going to be smaller. But if you just get wrapped up in the numbers on the scale and not focusing on everything else in the total picture, you will get frustrated. And that will tend to throw you off track.
Yeah, with me, I have a love and hate relationship with my scale.
Which I think a lot of people do.
Yeah, like I love it when she says that I'm down, but when she doesn't move, I hate her. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You know, I can't stand her sometimes. So. Yeah,
no, I hear you. Look, that makes you human, because I think at some point on everybody's weight loss journey, they feel that same way about the scale. Sometimes I got to argue with my clients to get them to weigh themselves, because, you know, it's an important part. Me being your coach, is important for me to know what your weight is so that I can change what we're doing to help you continue to get results. And I mean, look, if your goal is to lose weight, you got to weigh yourself. You got to know where you're at, which is a very important part of the whole process.
I haven't seen mine since the 28th of March. Mm-hmm. I mean, not March. Yeah, March. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you don't want to get obsessed with the scale. Like, you don't want to be weighing yourself every day. I mean, you could, but that's an easy way to drive yourself crazy. Let's say once a week, once every other week, weigh yourself just to check in to see where you're at.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I haven't. I don't like it.
Yeah, and I hear you. I'm not saying you got to go.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
But you understand that there's more important than just weight loss.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because everything is what I'm trying to do here is better myself, not just lose my weight.
Yeah.
Losing weight is part of making myself better. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, my English is messing up right now. And the weight, yes, is a big part of what was holding me back. Because honestly, I'm doing things now that I didn't think I could do it. Not that I wasn't able to. It's just that I didn't think in my head that I was able to do it.
Yeah.
And it took a couple of people to hit me in the head a couple of times for me to get it through my head that I could believe in myself and do my things.
Yeah.
And I was lucky, I guess, to have them around me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not talking about, yes, there's a couple of people that just came into my life, but everybody else has been in my life for like 20 years. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So these are people that have been telling me for 20 years that they believe in myself, that they believe in what I do, that they don't know why you are in the position that you are.
Yeah.
And these are their words. Like, they keep saying that. So I'm like, and they still do sometimes because I get lazy. I know, like, I had the second surgery and I think I only lost like 50 or 60 pounds. When, they see people losing 70, 80. It's like, I'm slow. Yeah. My heart beats slow, so leave me alone. But but it's good that they're telling me this, because that means that they're keeping an eye on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And and they take plates away from me and stuff like that still, but yeah, I gotta. That's something that I signed up for. You know?
Exactly.
So
tough love sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very tough.
Mhm. Mhm. So do you foresee yourself getting any more surgeries? Like, for instance, as you get closer to where you want to be, do you see any skin removal surgeries? Do you see anything else surgery-wise in your future?
I wasn't thinking about it
Mm-hmm.
because it's not pressing to me because it's such a long way down the road.
Yeah.
But I was looking at myself the other day, and everything is falling, so
Mm-hmm.
I might have to pick a couple of pieces up, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, plastic surgery is something that I'm thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So look, I believe in you. I know it sounds like you got a lot of good people in your corner that also believe in you. I know everybody that took part in watching this live today also believes in you. You know, we got a lot of really good comments. So I know that down the road, you are going to continue to be successful as long as you continue to do what's necessary.
Yep.
So are there any final closing words of encouragement for somebody that may be watching this live today to help them finally take action and get to where they want to be?
Okay. If you need to do this, or if you want to do this, because not everybody needs to do it. Some of the people do it because they need to. I mean, want to. Um, you have to go in there with your mindset that there's a lot of changes that you have to do. It's not something that you're going to go in there and they're going to take your stomach out and there you go. No, you have a lot of things that you have to keep in mind. You have to talk to people. You have to seek professional help because you're going to need it, and do what works for you. Don't do, not because John Smith had the same surgery that you did and lost 200 pounds in a year. That means that you're going to lose 200 pounds in a year. It means that he had that success while he's doing the surgery, and now he did the part and he did his thing and he lost 200 pounds. I didn't lose 200 pounds in a year. I lost like 90 pounds in a year, but I had a whole bunch of complications. So, and I did stuff that didn't work, stuff that worked, stuff I stopped doing what I worked, and then so you have to be consistent. You have to do what works for you, and you have to keep track of whatever you're doing and seek help and surround yourself with people that are going to support you and believe in you.
So guys, you heard it here. Seeking help, being consistent, doing all the necessary things that it takes to get you to where you want to be. If you're serious about this journey, I hope you took something from this interview today. Emiguel, he gave us some really good stuff, and I'm sure people are going to have questions for you. So why don't you go ahead and give people your Instagram so they can reach out to you directly.
My Instagram is Yo Soy El Más Pesado. That means that I'm the heaviest one. But
okay.
It has nothing to do with my weight. It has to do with my attitude. So don't make me change it because everybody wants me to change it, but I don't want to.
Now
but
you keep it where it is. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's Yo Soy El Más Pesado everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere. I'm Yo Soy El Más Pesado. And you can just DM me or comment on one of my pictures. What big part of this was I had a YouTube channel and I stopped doing it because I was putting too much negative things that was happening to me on there. But the other day somebody said that they used me as in their inspiration. So I guess it's working.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, there you have it. Another awesome episode of Weight Loss Warriors. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you got something out of it. And I do plan on seeing you again on our next episode of Weight Loss Warriors. Now, if you missed any of the past episodes, go on over to youtube.com/fitnessmotivation4u2. That's the number 4, the letter U, the number 2. There you'll be able to check out every past episode of Weight Loss Warriors, plus a lot of other really good content. Again, you got Emiguel's information. If you want to reach out to him directly, make sure you go on and do so. If you've got a weight loss story that you'd like to share and you'd like to do it here on a future episode of Weight Loss Warriors, you're watching this now, go ahead and DM me and let's talk. But if you're watching this on YouTube, down below in the description, there'll be a link where you can reach out and let's talk about getting you on a future episode. Last but not least, if you're looking for a coach, if you're starting a journey and you don't know what to do, or you're in a journey and maybe you're at a plateau, I'd love to help. If you're watching this live, DM me and let's talk. But if you're watching this on YouTube on the rebroadcast, there'll be a link down below where you can register for a free 30 days to my online fitness and nutritional coaching program. On that program, I'm going to create your workout. I'm going to teach you how to eat for maximum benefit, and I'm going to hold you accountable for doing what's necessary to get into the best shape of your life. That's all for now, guys. With that being said, this is Mr. Fitness, the body transformation specialist, signing off. And as always, where there's a will, there's a way. And I hope you have an awesomely great day. Till next time.